Hey everyone, David Giller here. Today is Tuesday, December the 1st of 2020. And although it's been somewhat of a crappy year, I do want to show you something incredibly cool that I coincidentally stumbled upon. And it's completely free. And I think you're going to love it. I think that you are going to be about as excited to use this feature as I am. I can't wait to share this with all of you and share it with my clients and start implementing it for my clients because I think this is somewhat of a game changer. And believe it or not, this is the kind of thing that prior to today, I never thought I needed. I never thought anyone needed in Salesforce. So maybe I'm just thick-headed. It never even occurred to me. So first, let's talk about what this app is, what it does. What this app does is it allows you to look at any record and to see the related records from a timeline perspective so that you can see chronologically what happened when. So let's say we have a contact that gets created in the system, and then we go ahead and we start logging phone calls, meetings, to-dos, sending emails to that contact. We go ahead and we create one opportunity, maybe that opportunity ends up being closed lost. We start logging additional phone calls, meetings, to-dos, follow-up emails, whatever it might be, to the same contact. We then have another opportunity. That opportunity is closed won. We include that contact in various campaigns. The campaigns could be inviting them to online webinars. Maybe we're sending them newsletters. Maybe we're sending them the holiday card greeting, and then maybe they open a support ticket, so they're opening a couple of cases. To be able to see all of those records from a chronological timeline perspective in a way that's a little similar to seeing the activity timeline in Lightning, that's what this app does. This app is actually made by Salesforce. It's a Salesforce Labs app, which means it's free. It's completely free. And I'm willing to bet that this app is probably going to evolve over time to get even cooler. Not that it necessarily is lacking anything right now. I mean, it's completely brand new to me. I did not know that this app existed until a couple of hours prior to now. I can't think of anything that this app necessarily needs. But then again, let me go ahead and show you. So first thing that I'm going to do is show you what this app is in the AppExchange. So here we are in the AppExchange. And as you can see, it's a Salesforce Labs app, and it's called Time Warp. Kind of a cool name. And what I did was I went ahead, I installed it in one of my dev orgs, one of the orgs that I use for demos for training purposes. And I went ahead and I also put it on only one record layout. I put it on the contact layout. So let's navigate into my fictitious contact for George Clooney. And what you're going to see over here, for those of you who have not yet seen my preferred layout, this is sort of like my template layout that I use for almost all of my clients across all industries and all objects, whether they are standard or custom objects. So at the very top, we have the highlights panel. If appropriate, we're going to use path, and then I always recommend inserting the related list quick links immediately above the next section, which is where we have the two columns, where on the left-hand side, we have two tabs, details, and then related, and on the right-hand side, this one happens to have a rich text component. Don't worry about that. We have the duplicate functionality, and then we have two tabs going across on the right-hand side, first for activities and then chatter. Well, the difference that we have here, now that I introduced this component on the page layout, now I set up that related list quick links. I turned it into a tabs component, and then I inserted the related list quick links into the first tab, which is open by default. It's the second tab that includes the new component that was installed through this app. So if I go here and I look at timeline, so keep in mind, we're on the contact record for George Clooney. And of course, I have access to all of the opportunities, all of the campaigns, all of the cases. I could see all of them right here. But if I go here and I click on timeline, what this does is it shows me, let me scroll a little bit over here. What it does is it shows me all of the records related to this record. And I can see over here on the bottom that we have this timeline capability where I can adjust the timeline of what it is that I want to see based on time period. And then I can see all of those related records. I can simply hover above any of those records to see a little bit more detail. Of course, I can click into any of these records to navigate into that particular record. But if I wanted to see, let me move my floating head to the side for a minute. If I wanted to see from the beginning of time, from the moment that this contact was created, all I have to do is go here and take this slider and move it all the way to the beginning of time. If I wanted to narrow in on a certain time window, I can go ahead and do this. So I'm narrowing in on the time window, and I can immediately see all of those records that were created related to this particular record. Now watch this. I'm going to go ahead and expand it. Let's look at everything over the course of time. And let's make believe that right now I only care to see the opportunities associated to this particular contact. Everything else I want to be hidden from the view. I can go over here on the upper right hand side. I can click on the funnel icon, and then I can go ahead and select to only display the opportunities, hit apply, and now I can see just those opportunities. And again, I can hover over them, and I don't see anything else. Nothing else is cluttering up my screen. If on the flip side, I want to see all of the activities associated to this particular contact, I can go right here on the funnel icon, and I can choose tasks or events or both, and I can hit apply, and boom, now I can see just those activities. And again, I can use the slider on the bottom in order to focus in on a very particular time slot if that's what's important to me, or I can keep scrolling in order to just browse everything created over the course of time. Anyway, that's the free app. It's called Time Warp. It is, I think, incredibly cool. By the way, as you can see over here, when it was listed just yesterday. So this is hot off the presses here. Anyway, go ahead and use it. I'm curious to hear your thoughts after playing around with this particular app. Go ahead and drop me a comment down below, and feel free to customize it. By the way, on the AppExchange listing for this free app, what you will see over here, there is a configuration guide. There are additional customizations that you can make to the settings associated to the timeline. I did not play around with any of them whatsoever. I just went ahead and I installed it, just looking at the standard objects in that particular org. I don't have any custom objects anyway. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this particular app. I am super curious to hear what you have to say about it. See you soon. Bye-bye.